Hey everyone, so there's been a couple of things that have happened recently that I wanted to talk about so that we can maybe avoid these kind of problems in the future. So one is that in a partnership situation, when the partners go to the bank and get a loan, a lot of times the banks will not necessarily require a partnership agreement between the parties. We've had a couple of scenarios where they've given funds to the doctors to do their project, but haven't necessarily required a partnership agreement. It's important to remember that just because a lender doesn't require a partnership agreement for their documentation, it doesn't mean you shouldn't have one. A partnership agreement is a really important document for any relationship between two doctors when they're getting into business with one another. It details what happens when things are going great, compensation-wise, profit-wise, and things of that nature. It also talks about what happens if the unforeseen situations occur, things that God forbid we don't want to have happen, disputes, death, disability, maybe one partner wants to leave and go to another part of the state or the country. All those things need to be detailed in a partnership agreement. Now, a mistake I see a lot of times is that partnership agreements are hundreds of pages long. No one is looking at them. They're dense and they go into really details about every little potential thing that could happen in a partnership, and that to me I think is the wrong approach. And so I think the right approach is to have a very strong but succinct document that highlights the major things that a partnership and the partner's obligations are, and focus on those, and then let the partners kind of talk through issues on a day-to-day basis as opposed to relying on a piece of document. But that being said, you still need a partnership agreement that's detailed enough to account for the worst things that could maybe potentially happen, but also document all the positives that happen on a day-to-day basis. If you do this the right way, there's you're not going to be a statistic. You always hear about partnerships failing. Well, you don't have to fail. And the way you don't fail is you make sure you have a strong agreement and that the parties are talking to one another. If you have any questions about partnerships agreements, give me a call. Thanks.